Hey guys, we're gonna start here in just a few minutes. I'm gonna let the live sort of get started and get some people on. Um, while we do that, I just want to explain what has been going through my mind over the last few days. As someone who works with a lot of churches, I know that there are a lot of churches who, right now, they're trying to figure out how they're gonna have worship services. They're a little scared probably because you've got things like when people don't come to church, giving goes down. So there are real tangible, how's this going to affect our budget kinds of things. But on an even deeper level, there is a how do we continue to keep our people connected, right? How do we keep our people feeling like they're part of our church? Because that's the real core issue, right? Because um, everyone's going to be stuck at home. Everyone's going to go into introvert mode. They're going to kind of be hiding from everybody. And so I know our church, we've been talking about, how we can continue to be engaged in the community, who we need to support, how we can help people to know that we're there for them as a church, and then how can we also have worship services continue to move forward. So here's, I'm going to actually show you a couple of different strategies that we've kind of come up with to help churches to be able to continue to put together worship celebrations. Um, eh, One option obviously is live streaming, but there are some other options that I want to look at too with you guys. And just, I really want our churches to be able to just be able to thrive in this time. And we spend a lot of time when people come to church telling them, hey, the church is not about this building. It's not about this hour that you're here. It's about more than this. And, then we come into a situation like this and we all get a little scared because now we have to really make that happen, right? We've got to show people that we believe it, right? And how we're gonna handle ourselves as the church when we can't gather all together at once. So I know a lot of people have been contacting me over the last day or two, wanting to set up live streaming pages. And so let me share my screen here. Okay, so hang on a second. There we go. Yeah, you should be seeing. So when we do worship services at our church, we use something called Planning Center, and it kind of looks like this. And I started looking at this and trying to figure out how can we create this same experience online, right? So, you're used to seeing a live streaming page, something like this, maybe where there's a countdown and a video window here. Right now this would have a countdown on it if it were a little closer to Sunday as well, or would have a video if they were live. But how do we recreate this kind of experience and maybe do it in a way when a lot of churches maybe haven't live streamed before, and so they might not have all the tools that they need to do that and do it well. So we came up with this page over the winter, actually, anticipating having something ready in case church needed to cancel for a snow day up in the Great Lakes area. But we had a mild winter, so we never really used it at our church. Um, but what we have is I kind of put together this experience, and to me, it's a self-guided experience. What if you had to have church um, at people's self, letting them pace themselves as they go and letting them walk through it on their own. And by presenting it that way, you don't have as much writing on the level of quality that you can provide from live streaming, right? So if you don't have really good audio set up for live streaming, or you don't have the licenses in place maybe to live stream uh, music, um, and you want to still get your service out there in a way that other people can be engaged with it. So here's how you can do it. Um, this first section is just sort of setting up, framing the whole experience. Um, and then typically in our services, the first thing that happens after the countdown is a really fun, upbeat song. So here would be a great spot to use a video. And honestly, guys, feel free to take a third party, take someone else's video and use it, right? It's high quality, and it will get your people singing through the songs that you sing or thinking through, kind of engaged in an experience that's similar to what you try to have on Sunday morning. So here's this, I just picked an upbeat song that we use a lot at our church. But you could put any song in there that you wanted. Um, then typically after one or two songs, we'll do an announcement time. And so you can kind of lay those out on your screen and give people a chance to kind of walk through them. Um, we talk about giving online, or just giving in general, taking up an offering, letting people give their offering and tithes. And so you can do that here in this section. And then we put together a set list. Let me refresh this page, I think. It must be blocking it because I'm screen sharing. But if you go to yourdomain.church/snowdays, right now where it's at, you would see a Spotify playlist right here. And so that Spotify playlist, you could have put together 3 or 4 more songs for people just to listen to, maybe just to sort of close their eyes and really engage in that, or just try to really focus on those songs. Um, and then you could put a sermon video in. And this could be your sermon, a sermon from one of your past services. You could sit at home and record a sermon and then upload it to YouTube or Vimeo and then put that in here. Or you could use someone else's sermon that you really love, and that you respect from a speaker that you know can deliver something that you would trust in. Um, and then finally, you can do a respond section. It's always good. Whenever we talk web design, we talk about what's the call to action for every page, right? What's the goal of every page? Is it to go to another page? Is it to submit information, purchase something? Um, and so typically, if you look at any website, at the end of the page, they're asking for something, right? And so this is a great spot to ask for prayer requests. A lot of people are going to um, want to be able to share their prayer needs during this time. So you need to really facilitate that, and have that ready, right? And so when we build a prayer request form, we usually ask for email and phone number, and then the prayer request, and then we also typically ask who that request can be shared with. That way you can have explicit, consent to share this with your prayer team if it's something like that, or if it's something that you really, want you to be able to share that with anyone who would pray about it, or if it's something that's just for the pastoral staff to see. Maybe it's a sensitive request. So this is kind of the system that we've set up, and let me just walk through it again real quick. If you look at our worship experience and planning center, we do, 1 or 2 upbeat songs, announcements, meet and greet, offerings, another song or two, and then usually a video that leads into the sermon, and then a closing song and kind of that response time. So this very closely echoes what we do on a Sunday morning. And so if you present it similar to your Sunday morning experience or your weekend experience, I think that this can go a really long way in giving people a way to kind of walk through, what church should feel like, what that experience should be for them, you know, actually listen to a sermon, spend some time worshiping with music, and then responding in some way. So a couple other things that you might want to do on your church website, um, is make sure you add a chat box. Facebook Messenger gives you free uh, free ability to have a chat similar to this. This is my chat for people to chat with me. But you can also have a Facebook Messenger window. Pineville has one. Let me go there as a non-logged in user. So, Pineville, here's the Facebook Messenger chat, and I could log into Facebook and I can message their team right there. Okay. And if anybody needs help, if you need help putting that in your website, let us know. We'll help you put that in your website. It doesn't have to be a digital church website or anything. We just really want to try to help churches to think through some strategies to engage their people and engage their community. And here's the other thing that I want you to really think about during this whole time. So I said this earlier. We say over and over again how church isn't about the building. It's not about Sunday morning. It's about more than that, right? This is sort of one thing that we do, and it's a really important thing that we do. But this is also about being more than just a place where people go on Sunday, okay? And we really, as the church, we're really being pushed right now to think outside that box and think, how are we engaging our people? How are we engaging our community? And I think that the great thing is that we have things like social media, we have things like websites, we have the internet, and these great communication tools to be able to engage our people on an ongoing basis, right? So I really hope that this is helpful to you guys. And if you have any questions, if you need help getting this working on your website, let us know. You can go to Digital Church Platform, which is our website. Um, and if you just reach out, there's a chat window down here, and you can shoot me a message right there if you want, or message me on Facebook, and I'll at least be able to find some links to help you do it, or I can even log in and help you do this. I just really want to help you be prepared and feel ready to walk into this time. I know over the next 6 weeks, 12 weeks, who knows, there could be there's a lot of uncertainty, right? A lot of people don't really know what to expect, and I want to do what we can to try to help you guys, help your churches to be ready for that. So yeah. The other thing I wanted to mention is this: be thinking about this and training your teams on how you can take these digital interactions, which are very two-dimensional, right? And how can you make them more intentionally relational? Okay, so once you have all of these things set up, you're giving people tools to sort of go to church online. But how do you keep those interactions going closer? How do you keep those interactions going at a more relational level? Does that make sense? So my wife and I were talking about this earlier today. If you have that on-site chat, right, you might have a chat window going, and people are telling you, thanks so much for doing this. This is really helping me to know what to do during this time, whatever. Um, you're asking them some questions, a lot of people are losing work right now. A lot of people are either out of a job, they're laid off, they're looking at maybe not enough revenue coming in over the next few months as everyone's sort of tightening their reins. Stock markets are down. Um, so you're going to be having a lot of conversations, I think, about people who are feeling uneasy, people who are feeling just sort of afraid, right? And as the church, it's our responsibility to give them hope, to present peace to them, to help them to feel at ease about the whole situation, because we know that we serve a God who's bigger than all of this, right? So as you're having those conversations, as you're talking to your people, to people in your community, um, as you're hearing about people who are stressed out and afraid, try to do everything you can to make those conversations turn into relationships. Okay. Relationships are deeper than just an on-site chat. Okay, they're deeper than just here's our website, go to it, right? I know a lot of us hate using the phone. I know I hate being on phone calls. I would much rather text somebody and move on to the next thing. But this is going to be a really good time to say, hey, what's your phone number? Let me give you a call. Okay. So you've maybe as a pastor or as a prayer team leader in your church, you're chatting with someone on your website, you're chatting with someone on Facebook Messenger, whatever it is. Maybe they're texting you or they've sent you an email. Get their phone number and say, hey, can I call you right now? And then have a conversation with them on the phone. And maybe even take a minute to pray with them over the phone, and just be there for them. Be the church for them. Everyone's going to be stuck at home for the next couple months. It's what it might feel like. Um, they're not going to be going out in public much. They're not going to be having that human interaction that they need, right? That we all need. So find ways to make that happen and more intentionally move into those. But present these sorts of things to get that engagement going. So, all right, guys, I just really hope that I can help you, that my business, that we can help you, that whatever we can do to help you as a church to be able to kind of reach out during this time and to be able to really help your people and your communities. That's what we want to do. So thanks a lot. If you have any questions, let me know. And I'm probably going to be back on again later today talking about this some more as things develop and as we continue to put together some more tools to do this for you. Thanks.